COVID-19 has turned our lives upside down, and there is no doubt that the economy has been affected by the recent pandemic. We have seen changes in the stock market, high sales of masks and hand sanitizers, and we have never spent this much time at home. But I want to talk about the topic that has become increasingly popular, toilet paper. I specifically want to talk about the COVID-19 effects on toilet paper. So for my first topic, I want to talk about toilet paper sales, followed by the shifting demand of toilet paper, the resource allocation for producers, and then finally the elasticity of demand for toilet paper. So for my first topic today, I want to talk about toilet paper sales. In April, 73% of US stores sold out of toilet paper, followed by 48% of US stores selling out in May. So it's clear to see that there was a demand shift to the right. You can see here in the graph that we started out at an equilibrium of P1, Q1, and because of the rightward shift from D1 to D2, we have a new equilibrium of P2 and Q2. The demand had grown for toilet paper 845%. So because of this demand shift, it causes a shortage. So in the graph below, you can see that our original equilibrium is P2Q1. Because of the shift in demand, our new equilibrium is P1Q3. Unfortunately, producers were still producing at P2, and the quantity that was demanded is at Q2. So therefore, the triangle that has been created below the new equilibrium means that there's a shortage of toilet paper. The cause for this shortage is going to be a change in taste, the expectation of future conditions, meaning that people are panicking about not having toilet paper during this pandemic and therefore are hoarding toilet paper, and the fact that the producers could not keep up with the growth in demand that grew so quickly. The next thing that I can show you today is the supply shift. So after the growing demand, we see a supply shift coming later. The supply shift that happened was a rightward shift because the suppliers needed to keep up with the growing demand. So since there was a higher quantity demanded, the suppliers needed to keep up. The supply shift happened because the suppliers are continuing to change the things that they're doing back in their production in order to keep up with this demand. So the producers are making multiple changes. So now we take a look at this graph here. We started out at P1 and Q1. That was our original equilibrium. Then, because of the demand change from D1 to D2, our new equilibrium was P2, Q2. But that caused a shortage. So in order for suppliers to keep up with the growing demand, we had a supply shift to our third equilibrium, which was P1, Q3. The newest equilibrium is at the highest quantity demanded at the same price as the original. So now the equilibrium has evened out and there's no shortage or surplus of product. So next I want to talk about resource allocation. So these are the production changes in order to utilize resources for toilet paper because of the growing demand. This is a graph of the production possibilities frontier. Let's say that good X is toilet paper and good Y is paper towels, and this company produces both of those items. So at point C, they wouldn't be utilizing their resources enough, and at point D, it would be impossible because they don't have enough resources to produce there. Now at point B, we can see that there are more paper towels being made versus toilet paper. But at point A, toilet paper would be produced more than paper towels. So therefore, the goal here would be to produce at point A because toilet paper has a higher demand than paper towels. For my next topic, I want to talk about the elasticity of demand for toilet paper. So here we have two graphs. I believe that toilet paper is an inelastic product because no matter how much we shift the price, we have a limited effect on the quantity demanded. Now, a relatively elastic demand would be something like coffee. If the prices of coffee shift, we see a quantity in how much people buy coffee change more dramatically. People might switch to tea or some other type of way to get caffeine like soda if the price of coffee rises. COVID-19 created a large flux in toilet paper sales and production. With an increase in sales, a demand shift creating a shortage, producers having to change with the growing demand, creating a shift in supply. We continue to see that toilet paper is an inelastic good. These are some of the resources that I used today to create this presentation for you. Thank you for listening.